Greetings and welcome to the second part of our video series about shoe care. Today we're going to talk about passive shoe care. What on earth is passive shoe care? All right, let's put it this way. Active shoe care is more like something you do every few weeks, maybe every few months, something like that, while the passive shoe care is something you can do pretty much every day that will help you to keep your shoes in good shape, keep them for longer. That's why today I brought you 6 steps of passive shoe care. Step number 1, taking shoes off. Now we all know this situation. We come home from a long day and all we want to do is just take those shoes off. But not like this. This can seriously damage the heel of your shoe and sooner or later will basically destroy your entire shoe. What you should do instead is this. Untie the shoelaces, loosen the shoe a little bit, and then hold down the shoe with your hands, and you can easily slip out. Step number 2, using shoe trees. You should always use shoe trees straight away once you've taken your shoes off. There are different types of shoe trees. These 2 are the main ones. This is the simpler version, while this is the more expensive, however, also the better version. When do you use which one? Personally, what I do is I use these for shoes that cost maybe up to 100, 120, something like that. Everything above that, I use these. Very important with shoe trees is that you do not buy the plastic version, especially with these ones. They come in plastic versions, meaning the top here is plastic. But what will that do? Imagine wrapping yourself in a plastic foil or something. You would probably sweat to death in there. And don't forget, your leather shoes are skin. Skin needs to breathe. How can you breathe when you're covered or when you're wrapped in plastic? So do not use plastic. Always use wood. Shoe trees do not only keep your shoes in shape, but especially these, they have a hygiene purpose as well. Meaning your feet sweat, of course, during the day. Everybody sweats. And you do not want your leather shoes or your shoes in general to absorb that sweat. Have you ever done sport in a t-shirt and then didn't wash that shirt but left it for a day or something? Try that and see how it smells. It's disgusting. So do not do this with your shoes. This will absorb the sweat. The sweat should go in here, not into your shoes. Step number 3, brushing the shoes. You just take your shoe and take a good brush and then you swipe it. Clean them of the dust, of the dirt that has accumulated during the day. This way, your shoes will always stay clean and dust or dirt or whatever does not even have the chance basically to settle, to sink into the shoe. Also, your shoes will always look shiny. So it takes all but a few seconds to do that. For the sole of the shoe, I use a different brush usually, something a bit more coarse, like what we have here. But that is not really required. If you have only one brush, use it for both. I just believe that with a 2-brush approach, basically, you get better results. This one a bit stronger for the soles. Soles, of course, get much more dirt than the rest of the shoe. This one for the upper. Now, do not use a polishing brush. A polishing brush will not be strong enough. This one here is a polishing brush. They look pretty much the same, but the bristles are much softer. So the bristles here, they should not be harsh or anything of the sort. They should be reasonably soft, but still strong enough to get all the dirt off. Step number 4, storing your shoes. If your shoes just float around completely randomly, if you just toss them into the corner or something, of course it does not look nice, but it's also not very good for the shoes. What I also don't like are those cupboards where the shoes are basically in plastic containers. You open them up, in goes the shoe into a plastic, then you close them. Yeah, it's like, imagine yourself, again, being wrapped in plastic or being enclosed in some sort of plastic container, you will not be able to breathe. You would not survive for long. I know how expensive proper shelving for shoes can be, so that's why I've designed my own. This one here, as you can see it's open in the back and it's open in the front, so there's always some airflow, different levels. If there's enough room for all the shoes. As you can see here, the shoes are not sitting on a wooden board or something, but there's room in between, so there's always airflow from all sides. The whole shoe can breathe. Now trust me when I say that I am not a handyman in any way. Actually, I pretty much have 2 left hands and I always say 5 thumbs on each. But I was still able to build this all by myself. If I can do it, trust me, you can do it yourself. All you need is a few wooden boards, a few wooden bars, a few screws and stuff like that. It's really simple. If you get the wood for cheap, doesn't cost you much at all, and it's worth it, trust me. Step number 5, giving your shoes a break. Now this can be the easiest or the hardest, depending. What it means is do not wear your shoes 2 days in a row. I know. Especially if you have new shoes, if you really like shoes or whatever, you want to wear them as often as possible, pretty much every day, but it will damage your shoes. Step number 6, putting shoes on. Never ever try to wiggle or jiggle or force your foot into the shoe. Instead, loosen the shoe a little bit, put in a shoehorn, and your foot can slip right in. Easy. And then you just close the laces. And that's it. Now you do not need a fancy shoehorn made out of horn or anything of the sort. Any cheap version will do. Plastic, if the plastic breaks, buy a metal one. They're not very expensive either. If money is not an issue, by all means buy one made out of horn. They look very nice, I give you that. But any shoehorn will do. The important thing is, get a shoehorn, use it. These were the 6 simple steps of passive shoe care. If you like your shoes, like I do for example, use passive shoe care, use active shoe care every now and then, use passive shoe care pretty much every day. It will extend the lifetime of your shoes. So if you like your shoes, treat them well. Thank you for watching.